After years of hard driving, you might notice the knobs in your cars look a little worn out. But don't worry, you don't have to throw out the whole thing. Simply swap in new knobs.
That's us.
And just like that, you're ready to go again.
The popular motoring television series, The Grand Tour, is getting back on track, but with a new cast. And we're joined by two of those new hosts, or knobs, depending on what you want to call them, Thomas Holland and James Engelsman. Great to have you both here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, okay, well, for gearheads like me and pretty much anyone that's been on YouTube at least once, you guys are already automotive superstars with your Throttle House YouTube.
Is a strong word.
Well, I mean, over 3 million subscribers, right? So
some of
like
those
that.
are my mum.
Some of the couple of
multiple accounts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So when I heard about you guys being a part of this, I wasn't shocked because a lot of what you do in your videos is similar, the same kind of spirit of what you've seen in the Grand Tour. So tell me how this happened, how this all worked out.
That's a big question, I guess. I mean, James and I have been doing YouTube for years now, right? Just kind of, as you say, I guess similar in some ways to what the Grand Tour is. That is a motoring show that's meant to have a little bit of fun, right? And I think just eventually we were right place, right time, because Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May retired from the Grand Tour.
Right.
And then Prime Video was like, we're going to reboot this show. And then they gave us a call.
Wow.
And here we are.
It was actually an email.
It was an email that we almost missed, by the way.
We didn't know what was going on. And we thought it was like a Love Island 2-week offer from a studio in London. And we were like, this could be fun.
Well, it's a good thing you saw that email. I'm happy you did. Now, you mentioned the original cast. I guess, it dates back for me growing up watching Top Gear, and then that evolved into the Grand Tour. Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, James May. They have some of the best chemistry you've ever seen on a television show. So how did you approach this? Now, you guys obviously have the chemistry already happening, but you introduced another person to it to make it a trio. So talk about how Francis Bourgeois plays into this. He's a train spotter. He's also an engineer. So talk about how you develop that chemistry.
Well, chemistry is a weird word. I'm often afraid of that word because you can't force chemistry, right? You either work with someone and you're friends with them or you're not. And we tested with a lot of people. James and I were up here doing this pretty early on, right? For like almost 10 months of...
Yeah, we kept going in at the upset of our significant others. We just kept going to England.
to test with other people.
Okay.
And eventually Francis all of a sudden was like a beacon of shining light, and he was the obvious person.
Right.
Because he is 100% like the counterpoint to us, and he's a massive gearhead as well, right? So he just worked.
Right.
It's great.
Now, no spoilers here, but I've seen the first episode. It is amazing, and I can't wait to see the rest of the series. Now, you're very open, obviously, about being Canadian in it, and it's interesting to have that Canadian influence on what has normally been a sort of a British show. Now, you're originally from
born and raised
in Ontario. James, you live in Canada, but you've got. Tell us about your story.
Yeah, no, I after university, I moved here in 2013 in the summer, and I thought, this place is great. And then about 4 months later, after I'd signed my lease, I was like, oh no.
Winter happened.
It was cold. And then, I told my mum I'd be back in 3 months, and almost 14 years later, here we are.
Wow. And I love watching your videos because you have that winter scene. You have snow, you test some of the cars on Throttle House in the snow. Tell us a little bit about that experience of being in these cars. You be it a baby Lambo, a Ferrari, and even on Grand Tour, there's a Hennessy you'll be driving. I don't know. Sorry if I've revealed anything.
Francis is driving.
Francis is.
He's the only one good enough to drive the hypercars.
Right. But did you guys get to drive?
Thomas and Francis did.
Okay.
They got to drive really cool stuff.
I drove it. There's another. James is a bit
I'm
bitter.
not bitter.
Okay.
I'm not.
He's 100%. Right. No. It's driving some of these cars is an absolute dream, and you still have to pinch yourself when you drive some of these things, right? And for us, I think the most important thing has always been like capturing exactly what it feels like to drive those cars, because I guess we remember what it's like to be the people that didn't get to drive them, right? And so I think it's so important to share those experiences, because some of these pieces of engineering are so rare, right?
Right.
So we do everything we can to kind of capture what it's
So
like.
much of that weight's on production. So
Right.
for Throttle House, we have an unbelievable team of 4 Canadians, other than us, that are working on it all the time. And then we kind of knew that with Amazon level of production, we'd probably be okay in terms of demonstrating the cars.
Right.
So, and it
Has been.
And after the first episode, certainly, and not only cars, which is to be expected, right? When you're on a Grand Tour, there's going to be all types of vehicles, and anything that has a motor is going to be involved.
Yes.
So wow. And how many countries have you guys traveled through to shoot this?
I think we figured it was like 8.
Yeah, about 8 different
Okay,
countries.
8
Yeah,
different
Singapore,
countries, okay.
Malaysia, the UK,
Right.
lots of whales in the UK.
Right.
There was lots of
Lots of sheep. France, Belgium,
Angola.
Italy, Angola.
Yeah, in Africa.
Well, there's a lot to see. I think our audiences will be really excited. I'm super excited for the two of you because, like you said, I think you really can personalize those cars, and even for people that aren't into cars, I think there's something to see when it comes to the Grand Tour, and I think that's the real gift of that show. Same deal with Top Gear and some of these shows. I think you can still watch them even if you don't know all the dynamics of a V8 engine.
You don't have to.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the goal of Throttle House as well. So
Yeah.
that the other person on the sofa doesn't say, turn that off, I want to watch my show.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Grand Tour has always been the best version of that.
Okay. Well, that's James Engelsman and Thomas Holland, co-hosts of the Grand Tour, streaming on Amazon Prime Video beginning September 4th. We'll have more Global News Morning coming right up after this break.